I can see the Pistons going into series and going into games where they're scoring 97 points. Like I could genuinely see that happening. Offense outside of Kade is lackluster. We you already alluded to some of the questions where that Kade himself has in terms of him being a reliable scorer and creator in the playoffs. Um, they just have too many questions in terms of half court offense for me.
Have y'all talked about the Pistons? They're
What
just
about the
one game
Pistons?
behind the Thunder now. So should we start taking them more seriously now? I mean, everyone's talking about all these other teams, but I feel like the Pistons are they're not losing a lot, and they're actually more consistent than the Thunder this season. Like they've been on a steady, like high winning run, and I don't know if they have any weaknesses. Like that team
Right
looks
after
complete
they
to
got
me.
packed up by Phoenix, you want to start pushing Pistons, bro.
Phoenix,
That's
And
when
they're not one
they just got
game,
backed up yesterday.
and they're not one
uh,
game behind Oklahoma City. No, they're
And they're
not.
one loss behind
Yeah,
OKC. They're
those
yeah,
two
I'm
fourth.
things.
talking about one loss because that's really
Yeah,
what matters.
they played less games. But yeah, I mean, it's convenient timing to talk about them right after they lose.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the Thunder just lost too, but that's not the point. The point is, what what do you feel about that team in the playoffs? Like, what do you think teams could use to stop them, or what do you think they would do against the matchups in the East? Like, I'd love to hear about more like about them as a threat in the East because now they're just as dominant in the East as the Thunder in the West, but they're doing even more consistently.
Well, since you talk
And
about consistency, I think that's the main issue in terms of Cade personally. I mean, Cade specifically. Cade's ability to score at the rim consistently in the playoffs. Cade's ability to knock down the jump shot consistently in the playoffs. Cade's ability to knock down the long ball consistently in the playoffs. That was their biggest problem last year. It looks great right now, but when teams scheme for you to specifically do that, then it looks tricky. So when they run up on teams, like to your point, with offenses like with the Knicks and with Cleveland and Philadelphia that got a big the way that they had Philadelphia, who's Joel Embiid is playing the way that he plays, and putting Cade, who has actually been a really good defender this year, but putting Cade on his heels and making him defend, it could very well affect his offense.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think Detroit's OKC East. So to your point, yeah, I just think their strengths and flaws are similar, but offensively, I think they're even worse. Cade isn't the same level as offensive player as Shea, but even outside of that, I think they lack creative. Karis LeVert's been mightily disappointing. Jaden Ivey isn't. I'm not the highest on Jaden Ivey, so I feel like if they had more ball handling and shot creators, I would buy them more in the playoffs. But in the playoff setting, I think they are going to be too one-dimensional offensively, with lackluster spacing. But their defense, rebounding, and the amount of guys they can bring in who keep the energy is going to make them tough to beat. I think they could beat anyone in the East in a series because every team in the East has like glaring holes to me. But when it comes to winning a championship, I have a hard time seeing the Pistons as presently constructed winning a championship.
Mars, can't we with the way that they you know their style of play, because I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, with the style of play that they have, to your point with defense, can we have a goal line? Okay, our goal line is 117, our goal line is 116, and we're going to hold teams under that with our style of play. We're going to clean glass, we're going to slow the game down, we're going to run when it's necessary, but we're not going to allow you, Oklahoma City is a prime example of that, we're not going to allow you to make us play the way you want to play. We're not going to allow the Knicks to make us play the way you want us to play. Is that not realistic for us? Is that not realistic to think that they can win playing that way?
They can win by out defensing you, yeah. But I don't think it works as you set a line of, oh, we don't want you to score more than X many points. I don't think it can work that way because you could hold a team to 114. If you score 112, you lose.
Sure.
So it should just be we're planning to hold you to less points than we can score. But I can see the Pistons going into series and going into games where they're scoring 97 points. Like I could genuinely see that happening. Offense outside of Cade is lackluster. We you already alluded to some of the questions where that Cade himself has in terms of him being a reliable scorer and creator in the playoffs. They just have too many questions in terms of half court offense for me to be like legitimate title contenders, which sounds weird because I think they could get to the finals, but like They're just for me is OKC is Denver and then it's everyone else. That's kind of where I'm at. But they're in that next group.
So are the Knicks more like between these two teams? Because when I look at the Knicks, they're my favorite roster in the league, by the way. The way it's constructed, they're my favorite roster in the league. They have the best rebounding guard. They have the best shooting big man in the league. They have the best rebounder in the league. And they have two of the lengthiest defenders in the league. So as a crew, and they have one of the best shooters, like as a crew, I feel like the Knicks have built a team that is very championship-like. Like when you look at most championship teams in history, they look like the Knicks as a roster. But
they have the worst disadvantage though of any of those teams. So I just that defense with Brunson, I'm sorry, it's just going to be a problem.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. That their Achilles heel is Brunson's defense, and you cannot play without him because he's your closer. He's their clutch guy. He's their closer. So that's probably their only weakness. But it's so bad that it's scary. Like, and it's bad enough that their weakness is related to their best player, because you usually don't want that. Like, you don't want your weakness to be something related to your best player. So
who are we talking about, by the way? Who are we talking about as the best rebounding guard in the league? Do you think
Josh Hart?
Okay, all right, I could get that. Sure, but I can tell you right now, Cat is not a better rebounder than Joker. No, he isn't.
Not Cat. I was talking about Mitchell Robinson.
No, he's the best offensive rebounder, and I don't think he's a better offensive rebounder.
As an X factor, let's talk about X factors.
Sure.
Let's talk about like offensive rebound.
Detroit missing Tim Hardaway Jr. I think is going to be big because they, like I said, they should have been up 3-1 in that series. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris made it all work with Kade Cunningham last year. Them not replacing Tim is a tough deal, but they could. They have to find a shooter. That's what Duncan Robinson's supposed to be. So maybe
They also lost Malik Beasley as well. Like,
yeah,
so that's
they had both of them exactly. That's him, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris with Cade. That was a problem. That was a legitimate problem.
Karis LeVert is just. I thought Karis LeVert was going to be nice because I liked Karis LeVert in Atlanta last year.
Yeah.
He's been bad. Jaden Ivey has not been good. Like, and then your best defenders, like in a playoff series, like you can't have Asar, Ron Holland, Beef Stew all out there offensively at the same time.
That's tough.
Like Asar right now is averaging 25 minutes, and I think he's the best wing defender in the league. But he's averaging 25 minutes in the regular season because of the offensive shortcomings. In the playoffs, it's hard to imagine those minutes going up. Same thing with Ron Holland averaging like 20 minutes a game. It's hard to imagine those minutes going up. So you're going to end up relying even more on your starters, which means you're going to lose some of the defensive guys in the playoffs because you can't trust them offensively, which means you might lose some of your defensive identity. It's going to be difficult. Their roster, I just think, has a few too many holes offensively. But if they were to go get that guy in Brooklyn who just had nearly 40 last night.
Damo, would you pick up the telephone? And I know that this sounds a little bit ridiculous, but Damo, would you pick up the telephone and call Beasley back?
Would I do it?
Would you call Beasley back?
Hell no.
Like you out?
Absolutely. Hell no. What?
I can't have a little gambling problem.
No.
Oh, we already off that.
So Michael Jordan say he won't be in the league. You just gonna say hell no?
Well, we already off that.
You're right.
We've already gotten to the bottom of that. We're done with that. So
did we though, Chill?
Yeah.
Are we off that?
You in the NBA, and you dealing with them type of issues. So we can't have that in the locker room. Sorry,
not in my locker room. Because now I can't trust you. Now I feel like you going 0 for 7 on purpose now.
Even though Ron, even though there's no evidence of me. I mean, I work at your bank, Ron, and there's no evidence of me stealing. But
well, he also had evidence he wasn't paying his rent, and we know he wasn't paying.
That's something else. That's nothing to do.
Why would you pay your rent?
Do the math. Yeah, do the math, Chill. Do the math, Chill.
Okay, we put one and one together.
The owner of the Pistons owned his. The owner of the Pistons owned his complex. You weren't paying your boss rent. No, you're not. I'm not calling you back.
So you paying me $12 million a year, and I gotta give you some of that back? That just sounds like I just took less money on my contract. Nah,
really
what? No, Mars, that's ridiculous.
I can actually get with that, Mars. That's actually in the contract.
Nah.
Yeah,
you better give me
Chill, are you
M's on that contract to pay my rent.
So you agreeing with this?
For the year. But for the year, I don't know. Let's say that my condo, the rent on my condo was $10,000 a month. Okay, and I'm signed for the rest for this season. All right,
It wasn't even that much money.
Take that $100,000 out of my contract.
You have to put that in the contract then. You can't just say
Really
say,
don't.
oh, will you pay?
We really don't.
Chill,
We
there's
don't.
no way
Hey,
that you're
no,
serious
no,
right
no,
now,
no,
Chill.
Ox,
There's no way
we
you're
are.
serious.
Yeah, Ox,
No,
chill,
hold
you're
on,
doing
hold on,
it,
Swipe. Hold
Hey,
on,
you're
Swipe. Hold on, Swipe. Chill, it's no way that you are serious right now.
I'm just saying.
No.
Nah.
We have these things. They're called gentlemen agreements. We do have those.
No.
Yes, we do.
Aw, nigga,
But-
Chill.
You
I don't know if you have a mortgage or if you have a
I'm
rent.
second in the league in threes and you still coming to me complaining about rent, man, shut up, man. What the hell? I'm making
See,
300
this
threes and you gonna
my
just let me
thing,
skate
Chill.
by on some rent?
I understand Mars being a young fella and still being a
Put it on
little
auto
naive
pay.
about making sure
Now that
that you
part I could
taking
get
care of
without.
that.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm
Very
saying? Like Mars, I'm gonna give you a pass on that. Chill. I know that you're not serious right now.
As an adult, no. You're
There's
very
no
irresponsible.
way. No way.
But
No,
my
well,
thing,
Chill,
my
what's
thing
the
though,
other
back to
perspective?
what Damo's point though. My thing is, even if you were found not guilty, that's some OJ shit, man. We know what's going on, bro. You can't come in here. Like you can't be in this locker room. We know what's happening. Like we know what's going on, and we don't want that around here. Sorry.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.